Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm so happy to be finally posting this first video on day 1 out of 100 of Saturn and Aries, no less. I realized though that maybe some of you have never looked at your birth chart, or maybe you don't even know what a Saturn return is, and so I just wanted to take this time before I delve into our series as to what a Saturn return is and why it's important. Simply put, your Saturn return is when Saturn returns to the same position that it was in when you were born. This cycle takes around 27 to 30 years, which is why it happens around ages 27 to 30. It takes Saturn around 30 years to cycle throughout all of the signs. And so, for example, if you were born April 7th, 1996 to June 9th, 1998, this is currently your first Saturn return. Now, you're probably asking, why is this important? What makes this different than any other planetary returns that we may have had in the past? And simply put, I like to think of Saturn as our catalyst for growth and change. It's not necessarily something that we want to go through. It's not necessarily comfortable, but it's something that we have to learn in order to be better and become better. This is the opportunity to maybe and potentially reflect on all of the choices that you have made leading up to now and why you could be where you're at in your life. Now, depending on your rising sign is dependent on what themes or lessons that you might have to learn. Now, when I say lessons, it's just because Saturn is a malefic planet, and it just means that it has more uncomfortable truths and lessons that we have to learn, as Saturn additionally represents karma, in order for us to truly grow and be pushed into that final phase of you're an adult. Saturn rules responsibility, restrictions, limitations, boundaries, and like I was saying, depending on your rising sign is depending on what you maybe need to learn. If you're an Aries rising, maybe you need to learn those boundaries. Maybe you need to figure out who you are and who you want to be. For me, I'm a Scorpio rising, so I have a lot to learn about routine, structure, work, health, all of those types of things. And like I was saying before, this is our catalyst for growth. This is our transformation period. This is our cocooning time before we break out into a beautiful butterfly. You know how people say, like, your 30s are so much better than your 20s? It's because you finally finished your Saturn return. So, I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm anxious, I'm ready. As ready as I can be. But I just wanted to explain that really quick to everybody who wasn't sure what I was talking about, or they wanted to look up what lessons they might face depending on what house Saturn is transiting for them.